Hey everyone, my name's Michaela Delgado, and welcome to my mini unit presentation. I'm just going to do an overview of my unit and the design process that I've created in each lesson. I wish I could share everything with you guys, but it's just a little snippet of what I've been working on these past few days. So I hope you guys enjoy. So for my unit, I did third grade multiplication, and kind of my main focus was to transition students from adding and using addition sentences and kind of getting introduced into multiplication and understanding how to use visuals such as grouping or the array model. To continue from my last slide, my Common Core math standard is to interpret products of whole numbers. So for example, students can be able to interpret 5 times 7 as a total number of objects and 5 groups of 7 objects each. My objective is students will learn how to do multiplication using the equal grouping and the array model. So for lesson one, I chose a book to read called Amanda's Bean's Amazing Dream. And in the story, students are able to count the objects on each page and they get to visually see and be introduced to the array model. So I think that this book is really a great introduction to it and is so engaging for students. So for this lesson, students will be able to write out both an addition and multiplication sentence, and will visually get to see the difference between the two and how both are related to each other. This lesson is a slow transition from addition to multiplication for students, and they will be able to understand how efficient multiplication can be. So in this lesson, students will be able to apply the array model to multiplication. And in this lesson entirely, they'll get a lot of practice in with the array model. I'll also be teaching them a lot about groups, rows, and columns, and how they can skip count each row to get their answer. So for this lesson, our last lesson, students will be able to apply everything that they learned with multiplication and the array model, and they will be able to be creating their own cities. So I'll give 5 different multiplication problems, and they will have to create their own buildings based off the multiplication problem. For one success that I felt I did really well on was the organization of my lesson and making it flow together, even though that actually was one of my challenges that I had throughout this lesson. Another challenge that I had was integrating STEAM and the other components with mathematics. Thank you guys so much for watching my mini unit presentation. I had such a great time creating it and creating these lessons overall. I really wanted to create my mini unit on multiplication just because I had a hard time with this concept as I was younger. So I really wanted to create something that would be really beneficial for students to use in the future.